Okay, we're going to go ahead and work out the first problem. It says a baseball player throws a baseball with an upward velocity of 16 feet per second, and the release point is 4 feet above the ground. The function h equals negative 16t squared plus 16t plus 4 gives the height h of the baseball after t seconds. So A is asking us, how long is the ball in the air if no one catches it? So I know you guys love the quadratic formula, and that's how we're going to go about solving this, because here's what it's really asking us. If h turns into a 0 and we are solving for t, what is t? So we're going to go ahead and use the quadratic formula. So the negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Which also means that we're going to have some really big numbers, so you're going to need a calculator. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and transfer all of these letters into numbers. So we've got negative 16 plus or minus the square root. Okay, 16 squared is 256 minus 4. A is negative 16. C is 4 all over 2 times negative 16. Okay, so you multiply together 4, negative 16, and 4. When you multiply those, and you are going to be adding it to the 256, you actually get 256 plus 256, or 512. And the square root of 512 is approximately 22.6. So it's negative 16 plus or minus 22.6 all divided by negative 32. Okay? So negative 16 plus 22.6 divided by negative 32, I get negative 0.2, like 0 something, or 0.21, okay? Now remember, we're talking about solving for time. So my question to you is, does that make sense? Can we have a negative number for time? And the answer is no. So that's not even a possibility for an answer. So go ahead and cross that one out. Then we do negative 16 minus 22.6, and then divide that by negative 32. And you get the answer of about 1.2. So that is actually your answer. It's about 1.2 seconds. Okay? Now part B, we're going to solve this a little differently. It says, how long does the ball remain in the air above 4 feet? Okay, I want you to look at the equation again. Now, I want you to think about this. Above 4 feet. Well, it starts at 4 feet. So what they're literally saying is, if it's talking about being above 4 feet, that means as if you go back to the original starting point. In other words, that 4 feet is not even necessary. So you're going to remove that from the equation. It means that we only need to be concerned with the first two terms. Okay? Because if it's 4 feet would be like ground zero, in other words. Almost like it would be coming back down to the ground. Okay, so I'm going to tell you, yes, you can definitely do the quadratic formula, but I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to do it using factoring because these terms are so closely related. And I'm going to go ahead and factor out a negative 16t. And if I divide Negative 16t squared by negative 16t, I get t. And 16t divided by negative 16t would be negative 1 equals 0. Okay, remember we divide this up. We'll get t equals 0 and t equals 1. So what this means, if you were interpreting these two answers, it says, how long does the ball remain above 4 feet? Okay, the 0 is talking about when it starts. It starts at 4 feet, remember? Then, after 1 second, it lands back at 4 feet. This is where it ends. So, it is going to take 1 second for it to come back to the 4 feet. And now you guys have 7 problems that I have complete confidence that you will be able to do on your own.